Alright, so what's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today is Monday, October 12th, and we just finished our entire 1 week of deload last week, coming into our first full week of starting the peak for our meet. So we're about just under 5 weeks out now. End of this week will be 4 weeks out. But decided to do something a little bit different for today's video. So today we are going to be going over what 1 week of my specific shoulder rehab looked like for this past deload week. So coming in 2 weeks ago, we had our heavy bench single. Of course, it was just up until we felt our pain was tolerable for that day. Wasn't too heavy actually. And then, that's when I decided to shift my focus from trying to push heavier weights and trying to get stronger to more of a rehab focus. Of course, still benching, and you guys are about to see the entire week's footage of exactly what I did. But yeah, decided to shift my focus to more of a recovery rehab week, especially since it was a deload week. So our main goal wasn't to push any certain amounts of weights. It was to kind of recover from the previous weeks of training, the entire block, and then get ready for our peak. And I feel like we did a good job of it. So yeah, this past week I recorded the entire week is of footage pertaining strictly to rehab movements and modifications that I personally made towards getting my shoulder better. So let's hop straight into it. So this is the Monday following our heavy bench, which was on that Friday. So again, I tried benching that Saturday after our heavy bench on Friday, and we pretty much weren't able to do the bar. I believe it was way too much pain and discomfort. Yeah, so here we are. Tried the bar that day and it was fine. Worked our way up to just 15 kg on each side. So that is 30 kg on each, 30 kg total. So 50, which is roughly just only 110 pounds right here. And it was our tempo day. So Mondays is our tempo day. If I can, I wanted to keep things relatively similar to what I had for training planned. So yeah, so we were able to hit the yellow plates, 15 kg, 110 pounds for tempo. I think, let me double check, is that tempo for a triple, manageable pain, 50 kg. Yeah, it helps to log your guys' training too, actually. Everything I do is logged in here, as well as notes, how I feel, and any new techniques that I want to try out or cues in my head. But yeah, so that was the day one. And then here is the accessory movements that I decided to try out for that day. So I remember why I did these. So I just decided to do some chest flies. I tried to do these on Saturday just because I felt like I wanted to get a chest pump. Because the bench for me hasn't been doing it lately because of the pain. I wasn't able to work up to a decent amount of volume with weight to get a nice chest pump and actually feel my chest working. So that Saturday I tried these with basically no weights. So just with the pin not even hooked onto any weights. It does like one little small plate on the cables you guys have seen in your gym. But yeah, so we were able to do these. I think it was on 20, so the pin was on the second hole. But yeah, was able to get a nice chest pump for the first time in probably like a week and actually get a nice mind-muscle connection to the chest, actually feel it working. So that's why I did these on Monday, and yeah, they felt really, really good. So all right, so this is also Monday. This is the final shoulder rehab type thing that I decided to do. And I tried doing the ab roller, but again, that loaded when my shoulder is loaded going into shoulder flexion, arm going straight up overhead, that's when I do feel a lot of pain. That's why when I'm unracking the bench press and re-racking it, as I've been going heavier, I've been trying to get somebody to help lift me off, even though the weight's not super heavy, and also pull me back into the rack, because that even hurts more than taking it out. But yeah, so we just decided to do some push-up position, shoulder taps, just for some core and also some extra shoulder bracing, shoulder stability work, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, so that's a quick modification that I did. I went from the ab roller to the shoulder taps, so that's something that you guys can keep in mind, you guys can try out. All right, and so now you're looking at the next day of training. So if I can, I wanted to do 2 main things for my shoulder rehab training. I wanted to keep my bench press in 4 times per week. Now, I know that might be asking a lot, but it's just something that I personally wanted to do just to get practice in, because we are coming up on a meet. And the more I bench press personally, the more I get my form and technique down, the cleaner my bench press is. So I wanted to keep bench press to 4 times per week, and I wanted to keep variations the same. So those were the 2 things that I was planning on doing, and then just modify the load and rep range, volume according to those 2 things. So coming up on day 2, it is our long pause bench day. So here we are getting set up. Again, I'm taking my time. That's something that I usually do, but just putting a little extra effort into ensuring my tightness. Lift off weight is not too heavy, just 1 red on each side. So we already progressed from day 1 to day 2. We went from 15 kilos on each side to 25, so the reds. And long pause bench, solid 1. We should hit a 3x3. So same as Monday, 3x3, Tuesday, 3x3. And I'm just rating my total intensity, so the total weight on the bar, just at manageable pain. So today I went in that day, or Tuesday I went in that day, and I felt like the yellows, of course I tried the yellows just to see how things felt, and they felt really good, no pain. So we bumped it up a little bit. We'll take the small wins here and there whenever we can get them. So yeah, things were solid. After this, I remember this day feeling pretty good. The shoulder wise, no pain. Was really happy with just this small win. Even though it was just going from 15 kilos to 25 kilos on each side, it was only 1 day in between the training, and I already felt a huge difference. So yeah, sometimes it's good to take the smaller wins, especially when we're trying to come back from injuries. That's another quick tip. But yeah, here, this is the same day. Another thing, so these are normally in there, but just a quick modification. Instead of doing a double two, instead of doing a attachment that's 2 arms, I decided to do it 1 arm, just to ensure proper activation of everything that I'm trying to think about activating. And it allows for, I guess, a more of a natural position. It makes me feel like I'm not being forced into a certain position when you're trying to hold something that's static in front of you. So I just felt like these were appropriate at the time. And then another accessory movement on that day. So Tuesday, day 2, recovery rehab. Here we go. So I could not do any type of overhead reaching pretty much probably for the better half of a week and a half up to this point already, so even before this. So this is something I decided to modify to throw in. Instead of doing like pull-ups or a lat pull down or a mag grip pull down, decided to do a slightly angled pull down. Of course, it's still semi-vertical, so it's roughly about a 45-degree angle, but I wanted to get some type of vertical-ish pulling into my training, because normally do some horizontal rows followed by vertical rows. So just getting in that vertical movement at a tolerable range of motion that I could get, and then really focusing on the muscle contraction, trying to get that nice mind to muscle connection. And yeah, these felt really good. Was able to get a nice lat pump from them. All right, and then moving on to day 3. So day 3 is our Thursday training session. So again, decided to try to do the ab roller. I actually recorded it this day. Then at that point, I felt like it was a unmanageable pain, discomfort in the shoulder, whatever you guys want to call it. So we pivoted, and yeah, that's perfectly fine, guys. Especially if you're feeling pain, you want to find some type of movement that you can do at a tolerable range of motion with a tolerable weight that you guys can still continue to load something similar to what you planned on loading. So stick to the plan, but making small pivots. So that day, I decided to just pivot to some the cable ab crunch, I guess, if that's what you guys want to call it. You guys all seen these in the gym, but yeah, I haven't done these in probably the better half of a couple years, just because I've been doing other movements that'll load the anterior part of the core. But yeah, these felt really good. Got a nice ab pump. Core was definitely sore the next day. And yeah, so this is the ending of day 3, just those 2 things. It was our squat and deadlift day that day, so things not pertaining to the shoulder. We're trying to keep this video on the shoulder. So yeah, let's move on to day 4 of training now. All right, so this is our day 4 of training. Now day 4 is usually our number 1 bench day. So came into today with the notion that I knew I was going to be able to improve from the 2 previous days. So again, I worked my way up to 15 kg, then the reds 25 kg, and it still felt really good. So I decided to throw on the 10 onto each side and just call it there. But yeah, we did a 3x5 this time, so we were increasing the rep range also. This is our comp bench, so our number 1 bench day, our highest priority bench. And yeah, things are starting to really come together, really feel good to get that 20 kg increase in weights that we're able to press. And that was a 2-day difference this time, so not quite the 1-day difference as between day 1 and 2. But yeah, things are doing pretty solid. So lift off again, I'm really trying to stay tight, then have most of the unrack come from, of course, my shoulder staying tight, but like just the arc of my arms and my butt slowly coming down on the bench. And then this also helped me. So when I'm going to re-rack, the weight's not super heavy, but when I'm going to re-rack the weights, you guys seen that have my whole body arc back, push my feet up, butt comes up, and then keep my shoulder blades locked in place, so I'm still in a stable position, keeping my shoulder blades locked in place, and then I arc the rest of my body back. So that was really helping my shoulder out, helping me continue to bench with a bummed out shoulder. But so that's it for the day 4. Now, like I said, we were trying to keep our 4 days of bench, so we're moving on to our day 5 now. This is Saturday. So Saturdays are close grip bench day. We're trying to keep the variations the same. And yeah, this was the first day that we were just about able to get to our normal rep range for our RPEs. So what I mean by that is I was able to do a top set of 5 and then 3 back off sets of 5. So the top set of 5 was with 90 kg, which is just below sub 6 on our normal close grip bench. So yeah, the bench was starting to slowly get back to normal. And then after this we did still keeping that on the re-rack, still trying to keep our shoulders as stable as possible. I didn't do the whole entire body arc that time, and I think my shoulder did ache because I did not do that. So it's just one thing that I have to have to try to keep in mind. And then, yeah, I'm guessing this is the 3x5 with the 80. Oh yeah, 80 pounds. So this is the back off. Same thing, close grip bench, but we were actually able to hit a top set followed by back offs today with things that are close to our normal weight. So this is the final day of the week. So huge improvements from the start to finish. Considering that the weekend before that we weren't able to bench the bar, and now we're back to our normal weights. So yeah, so this was our last. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through all the footage I recorded. I just made sure to record everything that pertained to the shoulder, and then reviewing it all right now. So yeah, so this is the third and final back offset, our very last shoulder rehab type movement. And as you can see, rehab can look a lot like normal training, guys. So you're just basically finding ranges of motion. If you like a particular movement, go ahead and stick to that particular movement as long as it doesn't give you pain. As long as you can regulate the load, intensity, the weight on the bar properly, frequency, how often you do it. There's a lot of different ways to rehab from an injury, but knowing my current situation with a meet coming up, I felt like this was best for me, and everything worked out in the end. So yeah, hopefully you guys can take away one or two things from this shoulder rehab footage of myself. Get some ideas sprinkled in your guys' heads. And so we'll end today's video here. As always, guys, stay safe. Put in that work. I'm going to catch you guys probably for our singles later on this week. So peace out.